mental suicide. When that
Mental
white man
suicide.
in you that is perfectly correct, that knows what's going on and how things should be, when that white man in there is dead, you're out of it. That's when you got out of it. So you have to literally die. The identity that's being generated by the programming. You follow this reality created an identity for you, TV and school and all the people you know and how they identified and how they related to the matrix. When they interface with you, that created an identity for you, which is how you identify and how you relate to the world. That reaffirms limitations. You follow? That makes things appear to be real that are not real. They're just thoughts and ideas that have been passed on. So the person that is now living by way of these thoughts and ideas, that personality has to die. You follow?
Okay.
Because then a new person will be born that does not have those limits about what we can be, do, and have as a people in the here and now. Everything you think is reality has been dictated to a program that has been disseminated and given to you over a large period of time. We've been taught how powerful the white man is in the system and how it works and how it operates and just how things are, how things should be, all of that. It's not true, but we have accepted it. And now we have a personality that's validated by the confirmation of the things that we believe to be true, but they're not true. That means if something happens in your life and you're like, yeah, I knew I was right, but the truth is you really was not right. The lie has been confirmed. People don't know lies can be confirmed too. You follow? You can say, you know, I knew it was meant for me to be broke. And then you constantly keep ending up broke. You think it's confirmed that you meant to be broke, but that is not true. That's a lie that is being confirmed. That I was meant to be sick, or, you know, I was destined to go to jail and get locked up, or the white man is definitely in this position. You know, all of these things have been given us by media and propaganda, where in many ways we can't think around them. They have become the parameters of the reality that we live in. And now if we don't experience these limitations, we find something wrong with the situation. Because the personality that is attached to being confirmed by these situations is seeking to continue to thrive and live. Because if you experience something different from that personality, then it's about to die right away. It's suffering. If you've been paying rent all your life, and I say, you know what, you really don't have to pay any rent to live in America. That's something in you that's like, well, hold on, now, wait a minute now. Now, come on now. That's a personality that's validated by paying rent, by working for the white man, by being under him. That's coming up against its death, even if I say something like that. You follow? If I say you never need to work again a day in your life, and you can be abundant and healthy and prosperous. You follow? Or if I say you can be completely and absolutely wealthy and rich without capitalism, it doesn't make sense. Because the parameters that have been taught to you is the opposite of what I'm saying. And the personality that has been created by accepting those parameters is under attack when I start introducing new ideas to you. You follow? I'm going up against that matrix self or that matrix personality. You follow? In all of us, there's a limitless being that has been limited by the construct of mortal men. You follow?
Right.
You listen to your Constitution and say, you know, I have the freedom of speech. You know what I mean? And that's a limitation for some people, where there's some limits of what you can say and can't say. Says who? The person who said you had the freedom of speech, they was free to say that, right? So that freedom of speech existed before the freedom of speech as a right. So your freedom is beyond rights. But most people can't even conceptualize that they have freedom beyond rights and privileges as granted to them by the government. They cannot possibly imagine that because there's a matrix that tells them what they can do, who they are, what their limits are. Every day has been dictated to them from the point that you went to school. You got to be there, sit there all day. You've been given regulations and rules to keep you within a certain limited mindset all the days of your life. You follow? And this seems right. So when the personality that identifies with all those limitations, that's willing to step way out of that, that's when you're getting out of the matrix. Now your relationship to the physical universe, to physical phenomena, is no longer limited to the constructs that was given to you and dictated to you by some other mortal being. In our case, it's the white man, the devil. He told us that, this is it. These are the parameters. This is how it goes. And you're like, okay. To the point, if I said we can defeat the white man in America, to most people that doesn't sound logical to them, and it shouldn't, because if somebody can get your mind and program you to believe that you can't do that all your life, why the hell should you believe somebody that come along and tell you that you can do opposite to what you have been programmed to do? They taught you to be scared of the white man, to fear the white man, to fear his system, his society, his laws, and all that, and there's nothing you can do but complain. March. And that no matter what you do, you're not validated as even really doing nothing if you didn't get locked up and go to jail or become a political prisoner, So the solution to the problem is being totally defeated by the problem. That's how you know you've been programmed. The personality that identifies with that program has to die. Because you can't change something if you've been programmed to believe that it can't be changed. You can't fly if you've been programmed to believe that, it's impossible to fly. You can't walk underwater if you've been programmed to believe you can't live underwater, whether it can be done or not. And you go to some people and you tell them, you can walk underwater, and they'll argue with you. And they're willing to drown themselves to prove that you can't do it. They would drown their damn self and feel glorious in dying. Like, it would be the most blissful death they ever had, to jump in that water just to prove that you can't walk underwater. Because now the ego in them, that is a personification of the matrix, its survival is even more important than the survival of the human being.